As we mentioned before the break, for the fourth straight year, traffic on and off of airplanes on Hilton Head Island is down. Airports Director Jon Rembold is joining us. John, thanks for spending some time with us. You concerned about those numbers?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me back. It's always great to be on the show here. Yes, as a director, it's definitely my job to be concerned about the numbers, so we do look at those. But I will let you know that we don't get overly reactive necessarily about the numbers. We've got a proactive approach with the projects that we're going to be executing out there at the airport, and I have full confidence that as those projects move forward, then we're going to turn those numbers.
I was going to say, those projects are going to change the trend. Let's start with a status update on those projects.
Sure. We've been real busy this last year. Of course, a lot of the work is kind of behind the scenes, doing some property acquisitions that will get some of the buildings that are in our obstacle-free area out of the way, and that'll clear the way for some big airfield infrastructure projects that are under design now, and you'll see those getting under construction in probably about the next year to 18 months.
And so it'll be that long until we actually start to see dirt move and the big equipment come in and things like that?
Well, it may be a little quicker than that on some of the smaller projects, but the major projects like the runway extension will take a little bit longer to get through the design and permitting.
The original runway extension proposal, I went up to 5,000 feet. Will we see much of a difference, do you think, in those numbers we talked about at the top from that, or do we have to wait until we get it all done before we really start to see the momentum create?
It's really going to be a combination of the projects. With that runway extension, we're also going to have some tree clearing projects that I know we've heard a lot about in the last 8 to 10 years. Those are really going to happen here in the next couple of years. So between extending the runway and clearing out trees, I think we're going to see some good numbers.
John, what do you hear from the airlines about the size of airplanes and the type of airplanes? We hear all kinds of different things coming in that they're going to focus on these short-haul turboprop planes, or that they're going to phase them out altogether. You talk to those folks. What are they telling you?
I do talk to them, and I'll let you know that they are some of the best poker players in the world. It's probably understandable that they keep a lot of that information pretty close because it is a tough market out there for all the airlines. But we do have some encouraging news from U.S. Airways. They've always been a good partner, and they have pledged to continue to be that way. Of course, the market's going to determine any decision that they make, but we're certainly optimistic to have them continue with their service at Hilton Head Island.
Okay, I may be stepping on the wrong toes here. They've changed their schedule a bit this winter, not flying out as early in the morning, but maybe flying out a little later on in the day. Is that something that they tell you is probably where they're headed, or do they change back when we get towards summertime?
That's kind of a seasonal thing, and I think a lot of times it has less to do with Hilton Head and more to do with where they're connecting.
Sure. All right, what else is happening out at the airport? Again, we a lot going on behind the scenes, as you say. Tell us a little bit about it.
That's right. As far as other business at the airport, we've got great things going on. We've got existing businesses on the airport looking to expand. I talk to new businesses who want to relocate from other areas who were trying to fit into the airport, and as a business developer, my first answer is yes, and then we kind of work out the details from there. So we're very excited in the future. Also have some great partnering coming up with the Concorde motoring event this fall.
That's right. You're going to bring in, maybe, we hope, some vintage planes as well?
That's right. It's going to be a great, exciting event. We're looking forward to this partnership.
Oh, we got to talk about that when things get a little more finalized. That's going to be great fun for everybody here on the island and in the Lowcountry. John, appreciate you taking the time to join us. Thanks so much for the update.
Thank you.
Jon Rembold, Beaufort County Director of Airports.